You've tried to change your thoughts. You've told yourself to think positively, to stay strong, to get it together, but your life still feels the same. But your life, but because it's not your thoughts running your reality, it's your nervous system. It's the tension you carry every day, the stress your body never releases, the subconscious patterns you didn't choose but kept living. You're not stuck because you're doing it wrong. You're stuck because your body doesn't feel safe enough to change. And until that shifts, nothing else will. Quantum healing isn't about thinking better. It's about finally teaching your system it's safe to let it go. And when that happens, your reality changes without force, without burnout, without fighting yourself every step of the way. And that's what we're diving into today. I'm supposed to have a guest on. I'm not sure where she is. She did get the message. And as you can see, I have a new background. I've got things that are changing. I'm trying a different platform. So yes, it's a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about it. So we'll see how this all goes. But I'm excited about the possibilities of what I can do with this new platform. And I am Kathleen Flanagan, and I am your host to the Journey of an Awakening Spirit. And welcome. I'm not sure what Brianna was going to actually talk about when it came to the quantum healing, but what I do know about from my own self is the body really does have to feel safe before it changes. And I know that you guys, I told you a little bit about my water heater episode back a couple of weeks ago. And what actually ended up happening on the water heater was that everything went fine. And Sal and I were just kind of a little crazy for the last couple of weeks doing this, getting through it. He's in Texas right now visiting his folks. And I'm up here navigating through whatever I have to navigate because we have cats and all that kind of stuff. So managing that, I felt like for the last 2 weeks, that I felt like I was a chicken with her head cut off. I didn't know what I was doing. I felt numb inside. I felt like something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. So I sat with it. And that's the best thing you can do is sit with it. And then there was also this feeling of an interesting feeling of emotion that came up of, I don't know if I even want to be here anymore again. And I'm thinking, I don't feel this way. Where is this coming from? And it came out that part of this is the detox that I'm going through also is releasing stuff of old thought patterns. And I had a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine about it. And he laughed and he got me laughing hysterically about how crazy I had been feeling. And he basically, what he did is he helped me to understand what all was going on. Because he said, in 2 years, you're going to have a whole new body because our cells regenerate every couple of years. And as our cells regenerate, then we become new. So whatever you're feeding your body, whatever you're feeding in your thoughts, if you start shifting and changing, those things start changing and you have a whole new body. Hence looking younger, feeling younger, that type of thing. And since January, I've been on this 90-day detox. I'm off of it now. I'm still taking some of the supplements as I'm navigating through the last phase of it. And I feel great. I've lost some weight and I'm happy. And then when the water heater went on, I was like, what the heck happened to me? And part of it is not only was it a massive shock to the system and a detox that I was going through, I also discovered that I had to face more stuff. And I'm not ready to talk about in depth what this is yet because I'm still navigating through it. But I realized that I'm like, who is this person? I don't know. Doesn't feel like me. It doesn't feel like mine. Now, yes, I've gone back to the womb and I've looked at things and I've felt things and I've experienced things. And that's all fine and good. But it was something it felt different. It didn't feel like me. And so then, but I could see the trauma. I could see a lot of things going on inside my body, and I wasn't sure how to handle it. So I just sat with it, and I was with it, and my body was just, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And I just kept asking, and it was about learning the language of the body. So then I decided I needed to ask for help because I really was at a loss. I didn't like this feeling. Sal was gone. It's just me and the cats. And I was just felt challenged in navigating whatever this is. But it was a series of emotions that were coming up. And I knew that I was at a big, deep center place of where I'm at in my own healing and growth and breakthrough and that type of thing. So I called a friend and I thought, okay, I know this is probably not the best thing to do with her because, her mom just recently passed. She hasn't she hasn't had her, she hasn't been buried yet, various things. And she ended up calling a couple of days ago. And it was the best thing because I'm just telling her what's going on. I'm just like, I just need help. I just need to see, and maybe you could see something I can't see. And I love this woman to death. I mean, it was so much fun because she's like, oh my God, girl, it's the Father. You need to call the Father. These angels aren't helping you. And it was like, she just went down this road because she's African American, no, English. And she's from Ghana. And I just laughed about it because she just went into this. Her English brogue wasn't there. It was definitely African, what she was saying. And it was like, your father, you need to ask your father. You're not asking, he's the one who guides us. He's the one who does this. And I just sat there and went, oh my God, I remember all of this. I used to do this all the time. And so I went to bed that night and I just said, this is where I'm at. This is what I need. This is what I need help with. And, I'm here to do your work. And if I can't do your work because I can't figure out what's wrong with me or get the help that I need, then, what's the point of being here? And I just called it all out is what I did. I just called it completely out. And I felt a shift. I felt good the next morning. Everything felt good. I was happy. I got a lot done. And I started moving, and things are moving and shifting. I'm not in 100% place where I want to be, but you know what? That's okay. To me, just remembering that sometimes we have to ask for a higher source. And we think that Spirit's going to be there, or the angels, or our guides, or whatever. And yes, they're there. But they take orders from the big man. And that's how I look at it. They take orders from him. And I needed to be reminded of that because I remember when I was in my 20s and I was living with this woman and she was an alcoholic, and I was trying to get to Colorado, but it wasn't time, and I just didn't know how to deal with life. And it was really hard to be with her because, she treated me like I was some sort of a kid, and it was just weird. And I remember asking God, and I just remember putting my arm up. I was laying in bed. I put my arm up, and I just asked him to hold my hand, and he did. And when you have your shoulders or your arm above your head for any length of time, it gets really tired and weak, and I never felt it. But I felt this surging of love and energy come through me. And I remember that's what I used to do, is I used to talk to God, and my mother and I used to have conversations, because she used to tell me I wasn't allowed to talk to God directly. And I remember telling her that she was absolutely nuts, that if I'm allowed to talk to God, and I can talk to God if I want to, and there's no such thing as a corporate ladder with God. And if there is, then I don't know who your God is, because that is not my God. And she thought I was crazy when I said that. And she says, well, I don't know why you're cussing at God. I said, well, you know what? If he's God and he's all loving, then by golly, he's going to tolerate everything that comes out of my mouth and how I feel and everything else. And I did. I believed that with my whole heart when I said that. I said, and besides, he doesn't care. I'm talking to him. That's all that matters, is I'm talking to him. And I believed that with my entire being. And so I did. I always talk to God. And yes, I have relations with Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and Kuan Yin and all the goddesses and all the angels, and I have a connection with them, but I'm not getting the help that I needed. So I went to the big guy or woman, whatever it is, he, she, whatever it is. Don't know, don't care. And just realized that I do need the help, and I'm navigating what I'm going through. I'm learning like this new system on Ecamm for my show, and I love what it can do. I just haven't got it down fully, and I just finally got the program about a couple of days ago. So I'm giving it a shot, and I'm going to have some really cool things that I want to do. And, I've been working on my course that I'm doing and finishing it up, and finally feels like I've got it complete to the where it is. So now I'm doing formatting changes and making sure, and then I'm going to start beta testing it. So I have one where I have the facilitation portion done of the 12 courses. But I'm redoing all of the courses, and then once I get them where I want, then I'm going to do the rest. But I'm moving forward. And, Sal is down in Texas, and he's so bored. And I said, well, you're the one who let them guilt you and shame you, your sister, into doing this for a month. And for whatever reason, we needed to be apart from each other for a month. And I'm okay with that. And I got okay with that. I don't have issues being alone. What I do have issues with sometimes is when I just feel kind of weird and I've got nobody to talk to other than the cats. And, believe me, the cats are not necessarily happy. We're getting into a routine because Dad's gone. But sitting with whatever it is and trying to name whatever that emotion is that you're feeling, that's what's important. And last week, I know I said I didn't put on the mask. I didn't do anything. And somebody had mentioned to me, it was that you didn't feel safe. This was washing your hair was so important to you because this is your home and you don't feel safe in your home. And the only thing you knew that you could probably maybe feel safe is if you could wash your hair. And it was true. I mean, it really was that feeling. I didn't feel safe in my home at that moment. And I saw that it escalated for a while. Because when Sal left, it was like, well, what if? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm creating a story. And I needed to stop the story. So I did. Because I knew I was safe. And then I verified everything to make sure I was safe. I did all the things that I had to do for me to feel safe again. And even though I am safe, the body doesn't think it's safe. There's so much trauma that happened that I'm still working on calming the nervous system. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because what I realized before I realized, go ask God for help, and somebody telling me didn't feel safe, what I saw before that was I'm in trauma. And I'm feeling traumatized. And I realized that, and Sal realized that. And it was shocking to both of us almost of how we both reacted to it. And we both let each other be. And we just walked around. I don't understand that part of it yet about the connection of us getting like closer in trauma, because I don't think that Sal had trauma, but apparently he had something, because he was very much in a trauma state, and he admits that he was in a trauma state. And we're both working through this, and we're both getting on the other side of doing the things that we need to do. And I'm doing things I'm not really necessarily happy to do, like dealing with the fish and the plants in the basement, because we're growing food and flowers and everything else. And we're having snow today. Yay. Otherwise, they would be going in the ground. But that's what you do. So I think the fastest way to work it is just be with whatever your nervous system is asking for. What is it that it needs? Ask it. And just start listening differently about what you hear. Because you will hear something. You will get pictures. You will hear something. You will get a sensation. And then it's just being with that moment, being in that feeling is when you actually understand what's going on and where you're going with it. It doesn't always feel good, but when your capacity is at its limit, the only thing you can do, in my opinion, is stop. So for the last 2 weeks, I haven't done, I've got the show out. That's about the only thing I've done. I stopped pretty much everything because I came to a crash and burn. And there was nothing wrong with the crash and burn. I'm sleeping every night. I have no issues with my sleeping. I'm eating. I'm doing everything. My body is handling all of this really, really well. It's just being with the emotion. And I know, and it's passing. And I know that I have to let it burble up, because sometimes that's what we have to do, is just let it come up, let it surface. And don't put any story to it. Don't talk about it. Don't experience. You're going to experience a feeling, but don't put a story behind it. Don't make anything up about it. Just allow it to just come up and let it go. That's it. Because once I understood that this trauma, that what I'm feeling, what I'm dealing with right now, isn't really mine, and there's a reason for that, and that'll be another day. It's not really mine, but because of what I chose to do, I have to figure out how to maneuver through it. So that's what I asked God for. Show me how to do this, because I don't know. It's not mine. It's stopping me. It's the nervous system. And I got word that the nervous system, that, just because I got everything straight up here doesn't mean everything's straight in here in my nervous system. And if the nervous system is still a mess, I'm not going to do it, because there's parts of where I see my future going that still goes, whoa. So I'm like, okay, got to work on this some more. It's okay that I feel whoa, but let's just navigate through it. Let's just be gentle. Let's be kind with myself. Let's just take whatever baby step I need to do so I feel that safety. That's all there is to it. Do I want to be there? Yes. Yesterday would have been fine, but that's not what it is. I just have to trust and trust this process, because this is a big deal. This is a lifelong process of healing what happened, of understanding what happened, of seeing the bigger picture. And yes, we live in a crazy world right now. And as when I was talking to Zenzi, that's what she said. This is the time of false prophets. A lot of people are saying things. A lot of people are going, I'm the one, and blah, blah, blah. And no, because they don't feel right to me. I know things are coming. I know my time is coming. I know that it's going to change. Everything is going to change. And we're still in this little lull. And maybe it's a good thing we're in the lull. The quiet before the storm. Am I ready? I think I'm ready. Some days I don't know, because if a water heater could send me off into a tangent, then that's a different story. But that's what it is. That's how things are. That's what life is. It's what we make of it. It's what we think of it. It's what's important to us. And right now, friends are important to me. Staying connected is important to me. Am I connected? Yes and no. I'm connecting to the people that I know that I need to be around right now, that the ones that can help me and not push buttons or get me off in a tangent when I just need to be left alone. It's like, if you want to talk to me, that's one thing, but you want to start pushing a button, or you want to say something that I didn't ask for, advice or your opinion, then I don't want to be around you, because I can't deal with it. Because I know how I'm feeling, and it's like, well, you obviously have no clue. You're insensitive, or you're just ignorant. I don't know. Don't care. The point is that I know what I need, and what I need is that. And if I want to have fun, I'm going to have fun. If I'm not ready to have fun, I'm not going to have fun. If I need to just be taking care of myself and being nice and cooking nice meals and trying new recipes, then that's what I'm going to do. Those are the things that make me feel good. That's what grounds me back into my body when I'm not necessarily feeling the best. I mean, if it wasn't snowing out here, I would be out in the yard digging up rocks and planting flowers and doing all the things that I want to do that the weather's not permitting. And it's been cold here for the last week, and there's not much you can do about it. So what do? You make the best you can and make lemonade out of the lemons when life does that for you. So my advice to you is just be nice to yourself. Don't make up any stories. Just sit with the emotion, be with it, take a bath, write it, do a journal, do what makes you happy or makes you feel good when you're in those crazy places. Because we're all in it. I don't know anyone who's not having some sort of a life experience right now. And it may not be a big deal, or it may be a big deal. I mean, a water heater is not a big deal, but I reacted as if it was a big deal. And I think it was because I'm so over water losses. I mean, this is the third time I've had a water loss in the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, this is old. This is just getting old. But what do? I'm a happy little homeowner. So when you're a homeowner, you get to deal with things like this, right? I knew the hot water heater was going to be replaced eventually. I knew that I had at least 5 years. Well, I didn't make it for 5 years. I had at least another 3 years on this water heater, and I didn't get it. So, and I look at this, it was mainly because I needed to see something to move it out of my body, because I'm in the detox mode, and let's just keep letting it come up and burble up and let it go. And that's what I choose to do. And that's what I highly recommend for you to do. Just feel it, just understand where it's coming from, write about it, and then ask for help. If it's through your guides, through the angels, through God, whatever it is. But reach out and have somebody help you during this, because it is painful, and you don't need to be isolated. There are people out there that can help you, and if you need to reach out, feel free. I've got a contact list on my website at KathleenMFlanagan.com. Feel free to reach out and we can have a conversation and just see what I can do to help you. I also have a school community. I am the Light Sanctuary /about, and come check out the school. I mean, it's for people that just want more, that are tired, that are doing the work, but they feel like they're never getting anywhere. And this community is for people like that, to be able to just put your hair down, let everything walk through, calm your nervous system down, and get back into being you. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. If this resonates with you, feel free to like and subscribe to the show, and then you'll be notified of future shows. Or if you know somebody that this could help, then feel free to give them the link and let them know that you care enough, and see where it goes. And I will see all of you next week, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And from my heart to yours, I hope you have a fabulous week.